Welcome back, friends. The story that I'm going to read to you today is actually not a story at all. It's nonfiction or an informational text about stargazers or gazing up at the stars. Stargazing is one of my favorite things to do, especially in the spring and summer. So I thought this would be a fun book to share with you for spring into reading. Stargazers by Gail Gibbons. There's the title page. Ooh, and it has a double title page. Look at that. What can you tell about this family from this page? Looks like they live near the city. Looks like there's a boy and a girl in the family and a dog, mom and dad. And look at, what is this instrument that they have here? Do you know what that's called? It's called a telescope. And it is a way that you can more carefully and closely look at the stars. Not long after the sun sets, the sky becomes darker and darker. On clear nights, points of light begin to appear in the sky. Do you see those points of light? What are those called? That's right, they're called stars. These points of light are stars. Stars give off heat and light because of their hot gases, which make stars shine. Stargazers are people who watch the night sky. Some stargazers are called astronomers. They're the scientists that are stargazers. Astronomers know a lot about stars. You can see here, these pictures, we have a star that you can see more closely how big it is. They look tiny when we look in the sky, but the closer they are, the bigger they are. And they also come in different sizes too. Over on the other side, you can see the family using a telescope, and then you can see an astronomer using a telescope. Hers is very powerful. Some stars are bigger, some are smaller. Most stars are very large. The sun is a yellow star. Our sun is actually a star. It is over 1,000,000 times larger than our planet Earth. All other stars in the night sky look tiny because they are so much farther away. You see our sun? That's actually a star. Stars are so far away from Earth that their distances are measured in light years, not miles. The sun is 8 light minutes from us. The next star is 4 light years away. Some stars are billions of light years away. And you can see here in this picture, there's the Earth. Look how tiny it is. See that? That's the Earth. That's where we are. Look how big our sun is. A light year is the distance light travels in a year. On the other side, it says light travels at 186,000 miles a second. Very fast. 1 light year is about 6 trillion miles. And there's the Earth again. Some stars look brighter than others. Also, stars are different colors. Some look red, some are yellow, and others look white. The cooler the stars are, red. The warmer stars are yellow, and the hotter stars are bluish white. Making some notes there of what they're seeing. That's a fun idea. And look at, they brought a little flashlight to help them be able to do their writing outside. Maybe when you go stargazing, this girl down there in the picture has binoculars on, and then it looks like they're taking notes on a clipboard with a flashlight about what they see. Stars look like they twinkle too. This is because of the air around Earth, called the atmosphere. As starlight travels through the atmosphere, it makes some stars look like they are twinkling. Okay, you can see here. It says outer space. The atmosphere is a thick layer of air surrounding the Earth. And our atmosphere has our things like our weather. So our clouds are in our atmosphere. And then up there, it shows that starlight, and as the light comes through down to where we can see it on Earth, it looks like it's twinkling, but it's really just moving through the air and in the atmosphere. And the atmosphere, the air in the atmosphere is constantly moving. During the night, the stars move across the sky from east to west. This is because the planet Earth turns slowly from west to east. The stars rise and set just like the sun does. You can see here, that's the Earth, and it rotates or moves. During the year, stargazers see different stars in the night. There are stars in the sky during the day, too. They can't be seen because of the bright sunlight. So the stars don't go away at night. They're always there. It's just that we can't see them because of their sunlight. So here it shows, and this is called when the Earth orbits or moves around the sun. So in the summer night sky, we see these things. Oh, in the spring night sky, which is the time of year that we are here, we see different things. In the winter night sky and in the fall night sky. Our Earth is constantly moving. It both orbits the sun and it also rotates, turns around and around and around. Oh, this is an exciting page. The Milky Way seems milky because it looks like a white, cloudy band across the sky. It is made up of separate stars, too many to count. They blend together because they are very dim and are very, very far away. A galaxy is made up of billions of stars. Our planet Earth is part of the Milky Way galaxy. And you can see here, we have a picture of the Milky Way and what it looks like from on Earth. This is what we see. But if you were in outer space, this is what you would see. If you were further away, that's what our Milky Way galaxy looks like. Have you heard of that, Milky Way? I know a candy bar called a Milky Way. It's also the name of our galaxy. Long ago, people thought that certain groups of bright stars formed outlines of people, animals, or things in the sky. They gave them names. These star groups are called constellations. Some of the names sound strange. They came down from the Romans who spoke Latin. Today's stargazers and astronomers still use these old names. So you can, excuse me, you can see that this is actually the same thing that you see here. And when people looked up at this, they thought they kind of saw the shape of an animal here. Different constellations look like they have different shapes. When you look at the stars without the lines drawn on there, can you see that same shape? Look very closely. Okay. The Big Dipper is a pattern of stars in the constellation of Ursa Major, or the Great Bear. So sometimes the same name for the same pattern of stars is either called Ursa Major or the Great Bear. You might hear both names. Nearby is the Little Dipper. The star at the end of the Little Dipper's handle is the North Star. The North Star has been used to guide people on their journeys for hundreds of years. You can see here that we have the Little Dipper. And the reason they call it the Little Dipper, it's not a funny name, is because it looks like a scoop that you might scoop water out of, like dip water out of. And at the end of the Little Dipper is the North Star. Okay, you can also see there's something called the Big Dipper, and that is the red one there. Do you see how that looks like a kind of like a ladle or a spoon that you would scoop up water with? The Big Dipper is there, that's red, and it's part of the Ursa Major or Great Bear. That's what this constellation here is called. Do you think it looks like a bear? Kind of. And remember, there aren't any lines there. That's what people have kind of used for their imagination. What you see is the stars that make those patterns. One constellation was named Orion after a famous hunter and is seen in the winter in the southern night sky. Long ago, people thought the star group looked like a hunter with a club, shield, and a belt. Ooh, look at this. This is the constellation Orion. Okay, and remember, when you're looking at the stars, you're only seeing the white part. You're not seeing the lines. The lines are what people imagine that they see by using their imagination. Near Orion is a group of stars that people thought looked like a dog. It is called the constellation of Canis Major, or the Greater Dog. Okay, you see that one there? That does look quite a bit like a dog, especially with the lines that have been drawn. The Greater Dog has the brightest star in the night sky. It's called Sirius, the dog star. There are 88 constellations. Some of them are seen at different times of the year. Let's see here. Can you see some shapes or constellations in the star patterns? It's a really fun activity to go and try to do this in the sky. It's easier if you're able to get out of the city a little bit, so that you're like in the mountains or someplace where it's more dark, then the stars are brighter. Stargazers and astronomers can locate the stars and constellations in the sky by looking at star charts. Star charts are maps of the sky. Sometimes it may take time and patience to find a special star or constellation. You can see here, they have a lot of equipment there. So they have a star chart, okay? And if you look at the Hour of Power show, I'm going to show you, I have a star chart. It's really fun to follow. There's also our star charts that look like this. They look kind of like maps. They have binoculars there, and they also have a telescope to help them see. About 2,000 stars can be seen while looking up at the sky on a clear, dark night. Some stargazers use a pair of binoculars to get a better look at a star or a small group of stars. We talked about that. So there's a binocular, and you can see what you can see just with your eyes, and then how much clearer you can see with binoculars. Other stargazers and astronomers gaze through telescopes. They are able to see some stars clearer, and also other stars that are too far away to be seen with eyes alone. So you can see here, if you use a telescope, you can see things much clearer as well. Okay, this is a really fun book, and I think this book is a lot of times available at the library, but it shows you how a telescope works. Okay, it's kind of hard to there are different types of telescopes. This is a refracting telescope, it's called, and it lets a person look directly at the star or stars. It has a closed tube here, and the eyepiece is right here, and there's an ocular lens that helps magnify or make bigger the images. The objective lens bends light from the star or stars into the telescope's body. Okay, this is called a reflecting telescope, not a refracting telescope, but a reflecting telescope. And it says, a reflecting telescope lets a person look at a reflection of a star or stars by using two mirrors. So again, there's the closed tube. This is the eyepiece where you look in, and there's a flat mirror that reflects the image to the eyepiece. The magnifying eyepiece picks up the image from the flat mirror and makes it look larger. The concave mirror, which is here, collects and reflects the light from the star or stars back up the telescope's body. Okay, so there are different kinds of telescopes. We had a refracting telescope on this page and a reflecting telescope on this page. These are wonderful words to use. So if you ever see a telescope and you want to impress someone, you could ask, is that a refracting telescope or is that a reflecting telescope? And they'll think, oh, we're dealing with a genius. Some telescopes are huge. They are in observatories where astronomers study the skies. This is what an observatory looks like. We have a few of these around the country. I've been to the one in Los Angeles. They're very exciting and really fun to go visit if you ever get a chance. Most telescopes can take pictures that the astronomers can study later. They are always making new discoveries. People can go to planetariums to find out about stars. They sit in a circular room, the lights dim, and everyone looks up. A special machine shows the motion of the stars and planets on a domed ceiling. What a beautiful sight! The planetarium director explains what and where the different stars, constellations, and planets are. So sometimes we have the Pacific Science Center come to our school and create a planetarium in our gym. If you've not experienced that, hopefully your school will have a visit with the Science Center soon and do an astronomy lesson where they bring a planetarium. It's a wonderful experience. The night sky sparkles with thousands of stars. The more you study the stars and constellations, the more you will learn. It's fun to be a stargazer. It really is. Okay. There's also, if you check out this book from the library, it shows you a little bit about stargazing history and gives information about stars, stars, stars. This is a really great book that you might want to check out from the library, either your school library or the public library. See you next time, friends.